Hello friends, today I have the most insane StarCraft 2 game that has ever been played. I sold my firstborn, my secondborn, one of my kidneys, as well as the rights to the biopic about my life in order to obtain this replay. And I still feel like I scammed the guy that gave me this replay. That is how ridiculously good this is. This is a game played at about 4200 MMR between a Protos player and a Zerg. Now the Protos player is called Inus and has Kim Jong-un around his nexus for whatever reason. And he's clapping, perhaps because Inus is an extraordinary player. Or perhaps because of a different reason. We don't know, of course. Vushny is our Zerg adventurer in this story. The person who actually submitted the replay as well. Just a standard Zerg player wanting to play Hatch first, watching Lambo guides, having little notebooks about things that Cyril has done to Clem. Just your good old standard Zerg player. However, today Vushny is confronted with something painful, something weird, something that he doesn't see every day on the ladder. It is a cannon rush, and it's not just a regular cannon rush. No, it's a cannon rush with a fast gateway in there as well. Ooh, fast gateway. Why would you do that? Well, if you build a fast gateway with your cannons, it allows you to build stalkers as well as zealots aggressively, helping you clear this hatchery as well as control the ramp. In a one base versus one base scenario, the Protoss tends to win because Protoss just is a little bit better on one base. Zerg requires better economy, and especially if they're on layer tech, their layer tech units are extraordinarily bad. Inus also went for a double assimilator steal here, making sure that Vushny cannot take any gas. Ravagers are not going to be on the menu for you. And so all Inus needs to do right now is just clear this hatchery and this game will officially be over. Because the only thing that Vushny can build is Lynx, Queens and Spine Crawlers. And how in the world can you break out of a cannon rush contain if all you have are gasless units? It's going to be very difficult. Zealot is on the way. There are no cannons currently in range of the hatchery. And we also don't have any gases going up quite yet, despite a cybernetics core already being started. I'm actually starting to get a little bit worried here for my good friend Inus, because, well, let's face it, triple spine crawlers, 4 links already out, 8 more links on the way, 12 links and 3 spines might be capable of clearing this cannon. And if this cannon goes down, there is nothing that can currently attack this hatchery, because there's not going to be any range units. Creep is blocking further cannons from going down. Look at this. Vushny is doing this in a very controlled and patient manner. He's slowly but surely moving these spine crawlers forward, allowing himself to clear the aggressive cannon, the only cannon that is capable of doing something. So where before I thought that Inus was clearly winning this game, now it looks to me like Vushny is the one that is in complete control. Double queen start already as well. We have a new round of drones on the way. And this game is practically over, right? Triple spine. What do we have? 1 cannon. Cybercore has finally finished up. But what are you going to build from here? Stalkers? That's probably the only thing you can do. And I don't think they will come out in time because there's too many spines attacking everything. Drones are being produced. Assimilators are being attacked by the queen in the main base. And we already have a Ling run by on the menu as well. Trying to get to the other side of the map to quickly finish this game. A very intelligent play here out of Vushny. He says, okay, I just want you out. I want you to go back to the lobby screen. I want to collect my MMR so I can go into the next game. However, by doing that, he opens himself up to perhaps receive some damage. 2 Zealot run by heading in towards the main base here. Smack the drones a little bit. There is a queen in the main. A second queen from downstairs comes in as well. And if you pull your drones away, maybe you don't lose as many. But 2 Zealots versus 3-4 drones. This is still an okay-ish trade. Like Vushny is not or shouldn't be losing any sleep over this, right? He's up about, what is it, 15 supply, is up in workers, is up a base. However, Inus is going into stage 2 on this plan, and that's going to be the double Stargate cannon battery cannon contain. Spine crawlers are not entirely capable of denying all these cannons because they're already fairly damaged. The link count is perhaps big enough, by the way, to just right-click these cannons. There's no batteries out quite yet. I think if you send in all these links and the spines at the same time, as well as the queens, this should be such an easy kill on all the cannons. You just clear both of these Stargates and you still win the game. That, however, is not what Vushny did. Vushny instead is going to add in another spine crawler. After scouting that there is Stargate as the tech of choice, rather than going for spores or extra queens, a 4th spine is going to be the answer, as well as a layer tech. 2 more gases going up, increasing the total amount of extractors to 3. Going to allow him to get quite a bit of gas. And perhaps get Hydralisk out on layer tech, or Corruptors, or Mutas, or Infested. I don't care. Anything really on layer tech should be fine. Spore on the way right now for Vushny as he realizes this Void Ray by itself, with the help of the batteries, is actually capable of fighting against these queens. 2 more spores do get constructed. There's no more queens on the way though, as now we do start a 3rd queen, as I mentioned it. And we have 2 more Void Rays in production behind all of this. Batteries continue pushing him forward. So where this felt like a free win for the Cannon Rusher and then felt like a free win for the Zerg, now it's actually kind of a scary situation. Batteries are pushing forward. The queen count isn't high enough to deal with these Void Rays. Yes, there are a lot of links out, but I wouldn't feel super comfortable just attacking into 2 cannons and 4 batteries, especially if there's a Void Ray above it as well, managing to deal a bit of damage. Vushny also doesn't know how many cannons there are in the back, and the moment he engages, he loses 6-7 links. If there's like 2 more cannons in the back, it would have been a complete waste, so I understand why he isn't doing this. Meanwhile, Vushny continues fighting against the Void Rays while they're being healed by batteries. 1 queen goes down, 2nd queen now under heavy fire. And 1 queen has gone down total so far. What is the tech on layer? We're seeing a Nidus network, as well as roaches being added into the mix to go for, I guess, an attack, making sure that the opponent's economy is going to get hurt a little bit here. This queen will get taken out. Spores dealing a lot of damage. Good control on this Void Ray. Void Rays will stay alive. It is 40 workers to 24, as the natural now will not be mining anymore, but soon main base of Inus will not be mining anymore either, and Kim Jong-un will have seen his last sights in this game, as he will disappear from the Nexus. The only thing that Inus can do here is recall the Void Rays, but the moment he does that, he loses a lot of his pressure. Decent micro on the Void Rays as he loses 1. Overall, 3 queens lost, 4 queens lost, and just a single Void Ray. 2 more Void Rays are on the way. There's enough cash left over to get 0 Void Rays from here on out. So this is going to be it for Inus. Inus is going to have 4 Void Rays total. And what do we have here for Vushny? Vushny currently has a single queen, as well as 3 spore crawlers. That is his anti-air. Has significant mining, as there's 2 more spores on the way on top of this. Spores now moving towards the low ground, wanting to secure the hatchery over here. All that Vushny really needs to do is make sure that his main base doesn't die. So either adding 5 extra spores or adding a Hydra then. All of these things would probably be good enough, as Inus now loses his main base as well. Will not have any mining anymore until the end of time. Can't even build a Phoenix, as he lacks 4 gas for 1 extra air unit. And now starts working on these spores. Spores have gotten a buff when it comes to the damage output, but also a nerf when it comes to the health. So Void Ray is actually dealing quite a bit of damage, as now they're charging up here to clear this lair, and there's not enough ground defenses to deal with this. 2nd queen pops out. Inus micros back 1 of the Void Rays. As the spores move forward, we'll get a couple of hits in. Another queen falls. Don't forget, income is still heavily in favor here of Vushny, who's mining with 32 drones on a base with 8 mineral patches. Now is going to actually evacuate and go into the natural. Void Ray falling kind of low, as this spore is being targeted down. No cancel on that spore, by the way. No extra queens in production either. Overlords do have the Overlord speed, as the Nidus network is being taken out. Behind all of this, we have Vushny now clearing a lot of the cannons. Don't forget, the main win condition in StarCraft 2 is if you clear all of your opponent's buildings, you end up winning the game. So while we see Inus taking care of these spores, we actually see Vushny here taking care of all of the buildings. Pylons are the main target here. They're being taken out at a pretty high pace. Void Rays are gonna start chasing these roaches, but every single second they're busy chasing these roaches, they're not busy denying mining on the opponent's side of things. Burrow now starts as a response. No Hydra then, no Spire, just Burrow. I'm not quite sure what this is for, but surely there's going to be a very good reason for it. We have 3 spores in the main base. We have 3 spores in the natural. No queens in the natural quite yet, but we have a new one on the way. 2 Void Rays split off to try and chase these roaches away a little bit. This spore is going to get targeted down. 2 new spores start instantly. Batteries helping out here, as this spore will also fall. That means there will be no spores remaining to really defend this side of the hatchery. Good cancel there on that spore, as he rebuilds it instantly. Final Spore that's standing over here will also get knocked out by these Void Rays. Void Rays do take a little bit of hull damage here though. As this base seems to be largely given up. Void Ray is gonna fall. No, Void Ray gets to escape here with 1 HP, legitimately 1 HP. Does manage to survive. One more Void Ray will go down. So that is the second Void Ray that has fallen so far. No, the third Void Ray that has fallen so far this game. The Roaches come back in now with Burrow. Will be capable of hiding from the Void Rays. Spores could move into position as well over here, as this hatchery is about to die. We still have 30 drones active in the main base, but there's only 4 mineral patches, which means there's not a whole lot of mining. Vushny wants to really get this low ground base. He wants to keep it alive, but I don't think he can actually do that. This Spore moves into position, but is gonna get targeted down by the Void Rays before it even gets a second shot off. Gonna get one transfuse here on top of the hatchery. Once again, we see Inus just going in, wants to clear this Spore, but this time with some miss micro, almost loses a Void Ray there. Can perhaps just ignore these Spores, go to the main base. This is the only mining base remaining right now for Vushny. It still has 4 Spores available, as well as 3 Spores in the natural, which could at any point move into the main base. The moment these Spores move into the main base and pretty much block off this area, I do believe this is going to be game over. Okay, 1 Spore is going to get taken out though before it gets there. Roaches still trying to pull these Void Rays away. Second Spore is going to fall as the hatchery is being targeted down over here. No Queen on the way in the main base, by the way. This lair is still extremely low in health. Spore almost gets a kill there on the Void Ray as 1 Roach falling a little bit lower as well. Oh, this is in range of the cannon vision as 2-3 Roaches do end up going down. We have 5 Roaches over here as well, with 3 more Roaches in production, 2 more Spores in production as well. Still no extra Queens, no Tech, no Hydra then, no Spire. As we're 12 minutes into the game, and for the past 8 minutes, Inus has not mined. He got taken out fairly quickly. So once again, the Roaches coming in from the back. Oh, decent control there on the Roaches. Burrows further back, 2 will fall however. And this layer now is toast. That means there's going to be no mining remaining here for Vushny. Vushny is moving Spores forward and tries to rebuild his hatchery. But the problem is that he doesn't have any creep. The moment your creep is gone, your Spores are going to start taking damage because they're not on creep. They can unburrow to stop taking damage, but then they can't shoot. So you're pretty much stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I think Vushny should start to realize that at this point. That yes, life is not going to be that great for him anymore. Inus is looking for angles in which he can attack this hatchery. There are currently 5 Spores remaining, but they can't switch location that frequently anymore. All the creep is now quickly disappearing as Inus still looking for that angle. Is he gonna find it? He's going in for this Spore, wants to get it. Is he gonna get it? Yes, he will get it. And now there's absolutely 0 way for Vushny to protect this hatchery. And all that Inus needs to do is clear the final buildings here. Make sure that this hatchery cannot mine ever again. And these Spores eventually will run out of HP. And thus, Inus will win this absolutely insane game. But wait! What is Vushny doing? Roach drone, Overlord heading in towards the natural. 4 Roaches on Burrow as he right-clicks the final structures on the map. There are still 95 minerals in the bank and a probe. An assimilator proxy is something that can be done over here. Will Inus realize as he sends in his probe to try and delay the inevitable? No, he will not realize that he has enough cash for an assimilator as the final buildings for Inus get targeted down by drone Roach. And the 3 Void Rays will not be capable of out DPSing this. GG gets called and Vushny wins this 14-minute and 3-second game in an epic ending. That will be it.